I just want to say, Jay, I appreciate obviously taking the time obviously to talk to us because I know it's a Sunday. That's a day when everybody has a little rest day, but you know what? Still appreciate taking the time to talk to us, my man.
Oh, thank you for having me on. Uh, yeah, I've watched a few of these before, and yeah, I really like your stuff, man.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, we've got obviously loads of stuff obviously to talk about, and yeah, let's get started. But first, intern, roll the intro. Now, is there a certain way you pronounce Vertigo? Have I said that right, or is there a certain way you pronounce it?
To be fair, Vertigo, like, everyone says it different, but it's cool by me. Or Jay, whatever.
We'll go with Jay. I just don't want to obviously screw it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jay, okay, how's your week been, my friend? All right?
Yeah, steady, man. Steady. Yeah, not too bad. Nothing out of the usual for me.
Anything exciting?
I didn't have a show yesterday. Today we've just done the PPW in-house show, which was a lot of fun. They did like a Cybernetico match. I don't know if you're like familiar with the match.
No, I'm not. Do tell me about this.
It's like a old school indie CZW type match. Basically, there's a full roster of people all in one match, and it goes on for like an hour and a half, and people just keep on switching and getting in, and everyone gets like eliminated so by so until there's two people left.
Exciting, exciting. Will this be going up obviously on YouTube, this actual match?
Yeah. So just on Pursuits YouTube, just have a look out for it on the socials.
I will. I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, of course, appreciate obviously taking the time to talk to us. I say this to obviously all my guests. We've obviously got a list of stuff to talk about. If there's anything I asked which you don't feel comfortable talking about for whatever reason, you just say next question. We move on. That sound all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. So obviously, I want to start off obviously you getting obviously into wrestling, and obviously I'm talking from obviously a fan's point of view at the moment.
Okay. What from the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay. I think from like about 6 year old. I think I was at my granddad's, and this is when we had 5 channels, and I think it was on channel 5, and I just randomly just watched Raw, and I just have a memory of Jim Ross and Jerry King Lawler on commentary, and I think I saw Jeff Hardy or something, and then I was like hooked. So like every time I was at my granddad's, I'd watch wrestling, and then we through like growing up, I had all the figures. I'd watch it every week. I was like obsessed. I kind of fell out of it in my teen years. Like went through a bit of like a emo stage, and then it's weird. Like towards probably the back end of high school, I think my friends got me back into it again because we had like a friend group and we all just like loved music and wrestling. So from that we started backyarding, and it was either at my mum's on the trampoline in the back garden, or it was at my friend's house who built like a trampoline like slash. They put like 4 posts in like garden hose as the ropes, and we just like go, like no training or anything. We just go out and kill each other. But through that, me and my tag partner Lawson, we found the school that 1PW was running their academy, and we signed up and everything. And on the week that we went to train, it shut down.
Ouch.
But through that, there was some trainees that started up their own like little spin on the 1PW academy, and we started off with them. Then that sort of like folded within like 2 or 3 months because no one really knew what they were doing. There was no like decent trainers. And then we got on with Brad Flash, who runs Mega Slam now. He was starting up his own like little thing in our area. So then we was like away from there, and that's like our early beginnings, Vine and Lawson's.
Interesting, interesting. So obviously, how far long was it before you went to PPW? Because obviously that's where I've seen obviously most of your work from.
So this was, I think, 2010 when we started out. Obviously, there was like a few periods where I had out of wrestling. I had in 2017, I stopped wrestling up until 2021. So that's when I really got back into it. PPW was the catalyst for me to get back into it after a lockdown of me wanting to get back into wrestling and just like seeing all these like opportunities and that. PPW opened its doors, and then we've been away from there 2021.
Exciting, exciting. So obviously, is this where obviously the Vertigo character was obviously born? PPW.
Yes, yes.
Now the reason obviously I speak about this one is because I love obviously PPW for obviously the characters. They're such unique. Talk about obviously basically creating the Vertigo character.
So in lockdown, I'd got the itch to get back into it about 2019, but the way that like my work life and everything else that was going on at that time, I wasn't able to like get fully invested and back into it. 2020 happened, the pandemic happened, and it put like a halt on it. So in that time, Cyberpunk was releasing, and I got really like hyped up and like behind the idea of this character that like no one that I knew was doing. Like maybe there was like partial elements of it, but no one was doing like the all futuristic character. And I festered on that for like a good year or two. And then when PPW opened, I was like, well, I want a fresh name. The V part is the main character in Cyberpunk, so I wanted something that represented V. So Vertigo, and then my real name starts with a J, so I was like, J Vertigo. Yeah, and then we got like started doing the in-house shows, started to like play about with little bits, and as time's like progressed, we've just added and added and added, and that's where we are today.
Awesome, awesome. So for obviously people who are going to be watching this who doesn't know much obviously about the Vertigo character, how could you obviously describe it to them?
So it's a tough one, but I'd say like just imagine like futuristic vibes. If you don't know what cyberpunk is, it's like we're in 2077. Imagine there's like flying cars, and people are like just made of robotic arms and stuff. A lot of like neon, flashy. That's what I try and represent in my like gear, like a lot of like neon, and it's like fast paced, and it's like it just looks cool, and that's like the idea. Like the first time you see me, cut the curtain, like that. That's cool, man.
There you go. There you go. So obviously one name obviously who's associated obviously with PPD was obviously Liam Slater. Everyone's obviously spoke obviously highly about him. Yeah, what's your thoughts obviously on Liam himself?
Oh, I can't say enough good things about Liam. Before PPW, what I thought I knew about wrestling changed when I came to PPW because I was like just a family show type of wrestler, camp show based, just very like basic baby face everywhere I went. And coming to PPW, I've managed to like branch out, learn how to work different styles, different types of matches, and just like I'm an all around better wrestler for it. And I'm working towards the style that I enjoy watching, which is I love like 2000s indie wrestling, TNA, ROH,
Yes.
CZW. That's what I love watching. That's what I grew up on. So that's my like I get to figure stuff out and put that in my arsenal and
Hmm.
play about with it at PPW, which and I start getting bookings for these type of places in the UK, which is wild because that's where I want to be.
There you go. So you just mentioned TNA there. What's some obviously the talent? Because when you said 2000s, this is actually when I was watching TNA as well.
AJ Styles all the way. Jeff Hardy for the little stint that he was good in TNA. Chris Sabin is another one that I like. A lot of my moves and the style of matches I work are like based off of like stuff he does. There's loads. It's like the X Division. Like I could name a load of people on the X Division.
Yeah, X Division was really, really great. Do you think, obviously, with AJ Styles leaving TNA, I'm just obviously swerving away a little bit. Do you think that kind of hurt TNA as a brand as a whole? Because obviously he was a big name.
There was a lot of factors in. I think he left in about 2016. I want to say.
Hmm.
I think the Hogan era hindered it, and then there was just like a load of guys that just left. But losing AJ was like a big hit for them.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, I mean, I didn't like the Hulk Hogan stint in TNA. I feel like it just didn't work. He got rid of the six-sided ring, which for me I feel like was like their identity. Would you probably agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. That's what made it unique, and like the two entrance ways where it like met in the middle. It was like so like unique, and then they just made it so bland and boring. Four-sided ring, just one generic entrance.
Yeah.
I dropped off in about 2012 watching TNA, so I didn't get to see AJ's last little stint, but I don't think I missed much.
No, it was, I think, just the Aces and Eights type thing, which is a storyline they run, which still's got mixed opinions. But anyway, we can't think. So we'll move obviously back obviously to wrestling. Now, I was looking obviously for your history, and you've obviously done some work for North Wrestling. Now, talk about that.
Yeah, I was on the pre-show at the last show they did, World at Large. Me and Kemper, we got like a good 10-minute match. Brilliant. Like that's the style I love watching, and that's like one of the top places in the UK to be. So
Hmm.
I'm like very humble and privileged to like work that, but like that's that's the goal, and places like that where I can work like some of the best in the UK and get to show my like skill set. It's
Hmm.
why I like the Newcastle fans. Um, it's like an old school ECW fan. They're not. They're just rowdy and ready for it. And
Yeah, there you go. So let's see, where should we head next? Now, looking obviously again through obviously your history, and is there a different approach going obviously to a PPW show to like a different show, or is it like the same process? Do you have like is it a different approach and stuff like
I think it's more relaxed because we're obviously used to.
that? Hmm.
We train there. We're there every week. Or we're on shows with other guys from PPW pretty much every weekend.
Yep.
So it's very relaxed and chilled out. The one show that was quite different was the first Pursuit show, which happened in September. That was the one that I was pretty nervous for, and everyone you could feel the excitement, and it's good feeling, but it was still like quite nerve wracking because it was the first paid ticket show that they ran, and from all accounts, it was a really good show, and everyone smashed it. So um, it was well worth it and warranted.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've obviously watched it back, obviously on YouTube, and it is a great, great show. I would recommend it to anyone. So, obviously, before you obviously go out into the ring, do you have any like pre-match like things? Do you get yourself psyched up? Are you in a zone? Do you put on some music? Because a lot of people's got different things with this.
I can't say I do all that. I'll obviously get like a little stretch in, maybe a little bit of a workout, and then I'm just like, for me, I don't like to remember too much, but I'm just running through my match, and I'm like, this is what I've got to do. I've got to hit this there, and then if I forget when I'm out there, it's somewhere in the back of my head.
Good answer, good answer. So this next obviously thing is I ask a lot of wrestlers this, and everyone's got a mixed obviously answers, and obviously I'm curious to get yours. The UK wrestling scene, obviously as a whole, is there's so much great, great talent. What's obviously your thoughts on the UK wrestling scene as a whole, being a wrestler?
Ooh, it's better than it was back when I was doing the family shows. It's very positive these days. Back when I was doing the family shows, it was like very territorial, and people like it was very like backstabby, bitchy. So it weren't like a nice place to be backstage. And I always just being young and not like the oldest in the room, so I wasn't like a vet or anything. I would just like keep my mouth shut and just carry on. But today, every locker room that I'm normally in, there's none of that. There's no tension. There's no feeling like you're walking on eggshells. It's always a good time, and if there's an issue, it's always something that can be hashed out or worked on. But like, it's a really positive attitude, and I 9 times out of 10, every locker room that I'm in, and the scene as a whole is better, and it's like it's on the up. I feel like we're getting back to like 2016 to about 2018. The indie scene was like on a rise. I think that British wrestling scene is going to be on that rise again, or we're already in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people always say is like there's so much great talent, there's so many great promotions, even training schools. Obviously, I think one of my mates once said that you're never too far, obviously, from a wrestling school, and that's obviously speaks volumes.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you're only like an hour away from so many different schools. I know we've got Pursuit in Sheffield, but like, you go over to Hull, there's the Evo. You go over to like Nottingham, there's House of Pain. So it's only like one train ride, or get a car full of people, and you're at a decent training school, and it's a training school. It's not just a crash mat in some local gymnasium. It's an actual school.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you just mentioned Kemper obviously earlier, and obviously I was doing obviously research for the show, and one match which caught my eye is you wrestling Nathan Black. Now I do believe obviously it was PPW, and it says open the gate. So talk about these matches.
Which one with Nathan Black? Because the open gate one is Planet Wrestle, but I have wrestled Nathan Black and PPW as well, so it's quite confusing.
Yeah, so we'll talk about obviously the PPW one first, and then we'll talk about the open the gate one.
Oh, okay. So that was for the inaugural PPW champion, and spoilers, but this is like a year ago. So I won that match. So I was the first PPW champion, which I'm very honored and grateful that they incited that trust in me, especially Nathan put me over. So thank you to him and Liam. But yeah, that was like one of the highlights of my career so far. Getting to obviously wrestle Nathan in the place that he helped build, and then put me over, which is brilliant. And I'd never had a title up to that point. The only titles I'd had were like boxing championships and like little things. So like to have a real someone that's invested money in an actual title is it was excellent, and that's like, if there was a list of like top 3 moments of my career, that's like up there.
Absolutely. And what about the Open the Gate one? Because obviously that was a good match as well.
Yeah, yeah. I always loved doing Planet Wrestle. You can just be like, it's a family show, and you can get silly. And working Nathan, he just riles the crowd up so much, and we just get to go out there and have fun. To be fair, and that's what we do it for. And I like Planet's like just relaxed attitude. We're all PPW guys. We all know like what's funny, what to do, what not to do. I mean, I love working like the style that I like working, but then sometimes there's times where you like just relax and just go out there and do some like camp silly shit, you know.
I guess there's no harm in trying, right? Do you know what I mean? That's what I always say in wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. There's a balance for sure, and every show is going to be different on some sort of level. You just got to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was looking obviously again through obviously your Twitter, and you've got a match coming up on December the 16th. Talk about this.
That's it. So, sorry. This is the second time I've ever faced Quinn. So Quinn he's a PPW student and he's just got out on shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I faced him as sorry. I was heel, he was babyface the last time we faced off each other. So this one's going to be a different dynamic where I'm a babyface, and I don't know if he's heel or face. We'll just have to figure that out on the day. But yeah, I really like Quinn. Quinn's one of the guys like that you should be seeing everywhere now. He's getting out on shows and that, you know. Great shape,
Yeah.
great guy.
I actually love that name, by the way, mince pies and meteorites. I just love that little like show name. Whoever come up with that is brilliant.
So that's Planet Wrestle. So every show is like a play on something planety. Jake loves it, and like he loves like he's a pop punk kid, so he loves like just anything like pop punky. I love it. It's just a lot of fun.
I love that. That's my type of music, pop punk. So I'm really intrigued, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant, man.
What about you? Are you into like the type of pop punk and stuff?
I was probably in my teen years. We had like the emo phase and everything. Nowadays, I'm all over the place because I listen to so many different genres. I think what's messed me up is I got into the cyberpunk gimmick, and now I just like everything that's to do with cyberpunk. So even the genre like synthwave and stuff. But my main like on my Spotify Wrapped, it was like you like aggressive metal. So I can't. My top 5 bands are all like Motionless and White and Ashkari and stuff. So I'd say I'm a bit of a metalhead, but I do like everything. I like rap, I like hip hop, I like EDM. I still like a bit of dubstep. So it's all over the place.
I think that's kind of like mine. I mean, I was looking at my rap thing yesterday, and it's like my number one genre is country. I'm like, I don't even listen to country, so how the hell have you come up with that?
Yeah, I the same. There's probably like one song by Hardy that I've liked, and now it's saying like you love country.
I don't mind a bit of EDM. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't dig it. I mean, dubstep. Apart from Skrillex, there's not much I can obviously think of dubstep.
So like there's a new wave like type of dubstep which is like metal and dubstep like combined. So like that's just like my character is like all the themes music wise in any like videos that I'll ever use is like it's either like something I've cut from like a Doom video or something that I found like metal step. It's weird, but that's me. I'm
Well,
weird.
I know what I'm going to do after the show. I'm actually going to have a look at this metal thing. It really intrigues me. I'm not going to lie.
It's good. You'll go down a rabbit hole. There's like YouTube, like hour-long videos with all the metal step.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited. So we'll obviously move back onto wrestling again. Now, is any people obviously in the UK you'd like to obviously wrestle?
I think I've pretty much like gone through the PPW guys. The only guy I've not worked is Leon, so I'll be in Leon later. I'd love to get in there with Leon, but he's just off one way to the moon. You know what I mean? Other guys at PPW, Bandicoot would be one of them, 100%. I've known him for a long time, and it's not one of them matches that I've been put forward for, and I'd love to get a chance. Anyone that's not PPW, let's go with it. Robbie X. He's like it. He's on top. He's been doing it for so long, and I started out when he was starting out, so it'd be like kind of cool to get in there with someone like him. I'm just thinking of like similar build guys that we can have like an indie banger.
Anymore? Well, Ray?
Scotty Rock's a name that like pops to mind. That'd be pretty cool. I love Scotty, and everything that he does just looks class. So
I think that'd be a good match. I think you and Scotty could actually really have a good match. Obviously, I've seen Scotty wrestle for one BW, but that's a different story. But yeah, I've obviously seen Robbie as well. So yeah, I can see why you kind of like the same build, the same kind of style. So I kind of love that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be class.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few little more questions. Obviously, we'll begin to wind down. Have we had any injuries?
Touch wood, like none that have put me out. I sprained my wrist, but that was like pretty much fixed and healed it within 6 weeks. So, I think back in the day I broke my toe, but like
Ouch.
you can still work on a broken toe, easy. You just wrap it up. But yeah, so far touch wood, nothing that's put me out for long. Like I'm very like blessed in that sense that I've not had like, especially the style that I do. I know people are getting injured all the time, so I'm very like grateful that I've not got injured that bad.
There you go. I mean, so basically what you're saying is you've not had any major injuries yet.
No, nothing that's put me out or I've had to go get surgery or anything for.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So, one obviously final question is, what's the goal obviously for you? And I'm talking one short term and obviously long term.
We'll go short term. So my thing is at the start of 2023, I was like, there's certain promotions. If I can get in there and just get my face in, then we should be like seeing I go to this promotion, I go to that promotion. So North being like at the top of the list, so I can take that one off. But like there's promotions like an hour or two away, so I'd love to go and work for like TNT, BWR be one. Obviously there's Tidal and True Grit at Leeds, and then there's just like ICW would be another one. Like I just made my Scottish debut the other week at Bleeding Gums, and to get more bookings in Scotland would be pretty cool. Just to get out there and get on the scene, really. Like I'm pretty much, I say I'm on like the right track, being like in all these different places. But I just want to work every weekend and just get my face to as many different parts of the country or different audiences as I can. So that would be the short term goal, and just to improve. Like you improve by getting out there in front of different audiences and seeing what works and seeing like this part of the country is different to this part of the country and this is what they pop for. So that'd be like my short term for sure.
Long term?
Long term would be so I wouldn't say no to like a WWE contract. Like that's that's what we all start on. I mean, unless you're really weird and you get into like something like really weird, but like we mainly start watching WWE from like a child, or if you're in your teens or whatever. So that's the one that I've always like come up with WWE.
Hmm.
So it'd be pretty cool if like they offered me an NXT contract and then you got to go to the main roster. But like I like watching AEW now because it's sort of like all the 2000s indies combined with a lot of the talent
Yeah.
that's on there. So that'd be pretty cool. That I'd say I'd rather that than the WWE contract, but either or it'd be the one. Or if I got offered to go to like New Japan or whatever, it's I'm in that like boat of free. But I know like those two companies at the top are like if you're on there, then you pretty much where you want to be, and you're like made for life. No matter how long you have there,
Hmm.
I'll always be able to come back to the UK scene, and I can say I've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is with WWE is I feel like you could easily get lost in the shuffle. And I'm not talking obviously you yourself, I'm talking about a talent in general. Do you know what I mean? I feel like with AEW, you can like branch out a little bit more, and obviously you could work in the UK as well. So I feel like that's just what I think. Anyway, I don't know what you think about
Yeah, 100%. Because AEW let you do bookings outside, so that'd be pretty like that's the one I'd lean towards because that's the one I like watching. So anything that I like watching, um, that I feel like I'd suit more. 100%, I'd go towards even like TNA nowadays. Like it's not been there, but I feel like them bringing TNA back is a good sign, and some of the talent they've got there. That's that's where that would be like a nice little place to go. I'm not calling it little because it's quite big, but in
that.
terms of AEW and WWE.
There you go. There you go. So you just obviously mentioned it now. Obviously, being a wrestler, do you obviously get time to watch much wrestling, or is it just like watch the clips when you can?
These days, I think going on like Instagram and Twitter, I think it just ruins it for me instantly because I'll go on Instagram and it's just all there. Um, but if there's any big pay per views, so I just watch Survivor Series. If there's an AEW pay per view, I'll watch it. Um, Even if it's like a big Ring of Honor pay per view or TNA did the recent one in England, so I watched all that. It's just I'm not a week to week person that watches it. Maybe towards Mania, I might be like that, but like if there's any pay per views that's worth watching, I will sit down and skip through the parts I don't want to watch.
There you go. One last question. Who's your favorite AEW star?
Oh,
Who sticks out most?
oh man. Fuck it. I'll say Kenny Omega. Like it's the reason why I probably like started liking wrestling again during lockdown. Um, it's the reason why him and the Bucks are the reason why AEW exists, and it's off the back of what he did in New Japan in 2017. Like that match against Okada is like one of the top matches like that I could recommend anyone watch. So I'll say Omega, but there is like guys like Commander and just people like that I love watching. Vikingo, just the guys that are doing crazy shit. Like that's what I love. I mean, Omega brings that as well sometimes nowadays, but it doesn't do
Yeah,
it that much anymore.
I think that's a fair comment. I think that's a nice little thing to end on. Yeah, obviously, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Do you want to do any shout outs and plug everything? Go ahead.
Oh man. So yeah, everyone at PPW, you know who you are. Um, just keep doing the good work, and my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that is just type in J Vertigo. Some it'll come up. It's some of it's J Vertigo with an X, some of it's J Vertigo on its own. You'll find me, and catch me wherever I am at shows. I'm always on Instagram. That's the thing that I use probably the most. So just keep your eyes on my socials, and you'll see where I'm at next. And if you want, you can buy my merch, either on my all my links, or you can just buy it at shows. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm going on the links to find out, see what you've got.
It's just one t-shirt at the minute. Hopefully
okay.
there'll be some.
Get some 8x10s. I'm sure you'll be able to sell some of them.
Oh, at the shows, I sell like little glasses, like little lighter glasses, and I've got 8x10s for the shows, so it's just the online side of it.
Okay. I'll check it out anyway. But Jay, obviously, thanks again, obviously taking the time, obviously to talk to us. Good luck, obviously, on December the 16th for that match. And yeah, man, thank you so much again.
Thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed it, man. Keep up the good work.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Obviously, the Magical Wrestling's obviously back this Saturday as we're looking at Wrestling Legends last matches. Now, I'm going to ask you about this. Now, do you remember Bret Hart's last match? Just as a little sidebar.
What, the one against Goldberg?
No, that was not Bret Hart's last match.
No, so no then.
Apparently, Bret Hart's last match was a teaming with John Cena against Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez. Yeah, exactly. That was my reaction when I saw that. Dear.
You know, I don't remember that much. It was probably like the time that I stopped watching wrestling, so.
Oh, dear. Cheers, guys.